So Mayor DeBlasio and the Governor Cuomo here in New York are in a little bit of trouble, and they got some explaining to do. I don't know what the penalty for this is going to be, but the federal judge rules that Cuomo DeBlasio exceeded authority by restricting religious services while condoning protests. So if you're going to allow protests to go on, you got to allow religious services to go on, because people are gathering for a particular reason with religion. The people are gathering for a particular reason with protest. You can't tell somebody no and somebody else yes. Okay, that's self-explanatory, and that was a good ruling by the federal judge. I don't really know what could possibly be the penalty for them on that, if any at all. It just probably means that it's unlawful, and we'll turn it to the panel to see what their opinion is. Starting with Boris, what do you think of this ruling? What do you think was going on here?
Well, I understand why the judge made the ruling. It seems to make sense. He basically said that if they, would have banned protest and banned, if they were consistent in both or allowed both, then it would have been fair. But, with respect to our rights, you have to have a balance between the different rights we are enshrined in the amendments to the Constitution. So it has to be balanced. It has to be fair. But at the same time, me personally, I would value the right to protest from my personal choice over the right to exercise your religion. Me personally, in a democracy, I would personally value the right to protest over the right to worship in the instance of a public health crisis. So that would be my position.
Yeah, that's fair. Vlad, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think he's just doing it in the name of science, really, because, we go in these churches, we're going inside and congregating, and, that's a perfect way to spread this infection. So when you're outside, you're more outdoors, and the likelihood of spreading this is a little low. So people are more spread out, more social distancing. When you're in a church, people are kind of close together. They're congregating under the name of God, whereas with the protesters, it's more science-based. So I think he's just protecting us, really.
Yeah, they should have allowed outdoor congregation if they wanted to keep it fair and say you can outdoor congregate, but they didn't make that exception because religion is under assault in this country from the left. Ultimately, they don't really see the purpose of it. They feel that they're more enlightened than that. The earth 5,000 years old. It's all bullshit, and they don't give it the same rights as some other aspects of it. But you got to keep things fair. That's all. Max, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I do think the ruling that the churches had to stay closed, or religious gatherings had to stay closed during the pandemic, is a little inconsistent in my personal viewpoint. Air is air. We're sitting around couches right now breathing. Why can't we do that in a church? We have protests. That's even worse. You have hundreds of people gathering. So I don't think it was right to take away or put a halt on religious gatherings due to the pandemic, if we're going to allow other things that are, in my opinion, worse or more likely to transmit the virus. So that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, Veronica, we'll give you the last word on the subject.
Sure. So yeah, I kind of agree with what Vlad was saying, and also Boris, because, as someone that has attended different vigils and protests over the past couple of weeks, I appreciate that, but I can understand, I'm not particularly religious, but I think that everyone should have the right to practice that, but I see, for me, it makes more sense to be kind of outdoors. So maybe they could have done something outdoors in regards to that. I've seen it for my church. I'm Greek Orthodox, and I know we've done stuff shut down streets and done candle vigils in the street. So we should be able to do that for church as well.
Okay, that's it. That's us here at Trax News. If you want to join our organization, read the description, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts are.